there's a really difficult balance to maintain between being overburdened or being burnt out and being lazy. And it's especially difficult if you've convinced yourself your whole life that you're someone who's systematic or um someone who just likes structure, right? It's similar to you being at an internship and just like clicking random things on your keyboard, acting like you're actually getting work done. But this time it's just you lying to yourself and not anyone else. Especially in creative processes or something which we do just for the love of it. It's easy to turn a hobby or something which you're passionate about into something which you're supposed to mundanely just complete and have a strict objective or a goal or a target in mind. And yeah, this usually comes from a place where you feel like if you don't show up every day or if you don't put that effort in every day, like you can't hold yourself accountable basically if you even take a day off or a few days off, right? And you just end up kind of forcing yourself or pressuring yourself into doing that work every day, even if it doesn't turn out to be great or it doesn't match the quality of work which you'd achieve if you just didn't force yourself to do it. And yeah, especially like I mentioned, in these creative spaces it's difficult to kind of separate that systematic way of thinking from who you actually are. And that urge you feel to keep things systematic or structured isn't really coming from a place of logic or efficiency. It's coming from a place of fear, a fear that you'll have to show up every day or be perfectly consistent with everything that you do, and that things will fall apart if you aren't there. And that's a difficult pill to swallow. It could be anything, right? Like it could be something that's creative, like you should be like drawing your day, or in my case I should be making like 2 or 3 videos a week for my channel to actually do well, or for me, for my channel to basically grow. But maybe I'm skipping out on many of the creative things or new things that I want to add to maintain that consistency, right? Sometimes you can't really improve the quality of something that you're doing without breaking that consistency. And usually that requirement for consistency or absolute perfection usually comes from a place where you feel like you can't handle or work around things falling apart or being inconsistent. And that's obviously like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, like that will obviously happen someday, because life is inconsistent, right? You are inconsistent as well. And like it's not even just about external factors. Maybe someday you're just not feeling well, or maybe you're not in the mood to do it, or maybe you just would rather do something else that's fun. Again, this is something which started out to be something which is supposed to be fun for you, but now it has turned into something which is a responsibility or a duty that you need to fulfill. And that's probably a clear sign for you expecting a level of perfection from yourself which isn't necessarily healthy. And usually it's a difficult pattern to break, right? Like especially if we've been doing it for a while, and we've kind of just always trained ourselves into believing that accountability is only related to consistency or how perfectly we show up. And we have completely detached it from being accountable, that being accountable regarding us liking something or not, or actually feeling fulfilled with something or not. And yeah, and I feel like there are only a few proper ways to really deal with that. And it mainly kind of comes out of acknowledging that not everything is going to be in your control, and even you can't be perfectly consistent forever, even if you really wanted to, and even if it only depended on you. Holding yourself accountable to when you're actually having fun with doing something and when you're not, when it feels like a duty or a burden instead of something that you actually want to do. And yeah, I think it's kind of important that we understand how much of our decisions and actions actually are based on, emotions and how we're feeling about something. Um, and how we view ourselves, kind of our ego, and separate it from, I mean, not really separate it from how we deal with things, but understanding that some of our emotions are based off of, something that's factual or something that's helpful, or our emotions are trying to tell us something. And on the other end, some of them are, just things that we've learned which are negative or like limiting, right? And I guess understanding that you probably don't have complete control over everything that's happening in your life, or everything working out for you, will probably help or increase the chances of things actually working out for you. And that's pretty much it.